Good morning, everyone. Let's see if we can get this party started here. Looks like it's going live. I think we should be moving in the right direction here. Let's see if we can get this. Yep, there we go. All right. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Here we go. What is today? Thursday, the 13th. The government is reopened. Wow. Kind of anticlimactic, I think. I was hoping for, I don't know what I was hoping for, but certainly something more than has happened thus far. But I guess we're just getting into it, so we'll have to see. Now, Alex is, I think he's joining us today, but his mom is having some issues. So if you would pray for Alex and his mom and his whole family, that would be wonderful. I know that he's got his hands full over there. And there he is now. All right, here we go. Good morning, Alex.
Gotta love TikTok. Gotta love TikTok.
I know.
Morning.
There's all kinds of stuff going on. I'm getting so many messages. Can't find the live. All kinds of stuff. But most importantly, how's mom doing this morning?
It's status quo, brother. We're on the downside. So
yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I've been asking everybody to pray for your mom.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, let's see. Well, James is here today. What the heck do you know? Good morning, James.
Good morning. How is everybody?
We're doing okay. Are you on the road still, or are you back home? You there, James?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
He's pushing buttons.
Oh, I said, are you on the road still or back home?
I'm an hour and 40 minutes from home.
Oh, wonderful. Look at Dave. Good morning, Dave.
Look how tall Don is in that picture.
Yeah, wait a minute. We're the same height. How does that happen?
You're standing in a hole.
Everybody, Dave sent something over this morning to me. It's kind of an Iron Man joke thing. I posted it on my Instagram, Dave.
Yeah, I've seen that, and on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. It just cracked me up. I don't know. We might have to do an intervention with Dave on the whole CapCut thing.
The AI stuff is so
Please. He made me look like Disco Bob Ross this morning.
Dave, you're gonna have to show me how to do that.
Oh, Sam, I didn't even pay for anything.
Wow.
Look at clown. Somebody put a clown face on you there, Sam.
What's that?
Somebody just gave you clown face.
Where's that?
It was on TikTok. Your face turned into a clown.
Yeah.
You missed the squirrel, dude. What the hell?
Oh no, I didn't even see it. That's what.
They'll send it again.
Look at James. Okay. Well, let me say some good mornings here. Excuse me. Oh boy, we got everybody piling in. Let's see. Teresa Ann is here. Tanya Moons Hybrid. Chris Romano. Lee is here. Good morning, Lee. Pure Blood Holly Johns. Wendy J. Rick Senior. Andrea Lynn 81. I Speak 1717 is here. David said, good morning on the button. Good job, David. John Gwynn is here. Good morning, John. And I did get that video, John. That was very informative. Thanks for sending that. Jan, loving being grandma. Happy Thursday to you as well. Sherry from East Tennessee. Joy is here. And there she is, Lisa Maria. Good morning, Lisa. Chris Romano. Benji 1959. Mary Lise Brown. Oh my gosh, everybody's piling in here. Who else? We have Mary Ann Thompson, Jody Singleton, 8 S&W Farm, Sherry. It said click on Sam and then click watch. People are still having trouble with the live, I think. Kevin Kiesler is here. Wendy, Donna Fox. Good morning, Dee. Laura McCrary. Oh my goodness. Kim Colton said, sending love and prayers for your mom, Alex. Thank you, Kim. Let's see here. Martin's WB. Good morning, Martin. Oh, boy. Jason Coons. Good morning, Jason. Excuse me. Let's see here. Who else we got? Wendy J is here. Oh my goodness. Everybody's piling in. Love it, you guys. Just love it. Welcome, everyone. David Morales is here over on YouTube. He said, "Good morning, eagle-eyed rebels." Boy, isn't that the truth. Hey, Jason Coons is over on Facebook as well. Hey, Jason. And there's Ozzy Crosby. Good morning, Ozzy. Earl Shannon is here.
Dave.
What's that?
Dave, you're fired. You're fired, Dave.
Exactly. Earl Shannon's here. Good morning, guys. Alex, my heart and prayers go out to you and your family. Layson Steele said, "Hello, everyone. Doing great, digging gold in the Arizona desert. Have nearly 1 ounce already. Wow. Great job, Lace. Excellent. I didn't know that you were doing that." Let's see. Virgo 47 is here. Let's see. Wonky Kong. No, he's not on the list. That's a misread story that people
He's
are
on the good list, not the naughty list.
Exactly. And everybody, they were making such a big deal. Oh, President Trump was having Thanksgiving with Epstein and all this other crap. And then you go back and you find out where he was.
Wonky donk. I want you to go back in time just a little bit and this new release that they've put out about how he was there and he spoke to and this and that and the other. And I want you to line that up with the testimony of the young lady that is now public, that this new article that has been put out said anonymous. But if you line them up side by side, she said flat out, wasn't there, had nothing to do with it. It's a great big nothing burger. But hey, we appreciate you stopping by. Thank you very much.
Exactly. All right, let's see here. Virgo 47 said, "I had to search for you. You weren't in my live feed." Yeah, I don't know what's going on with TikTok. There's all kinds of things catawampus about it, but that's all right. We'll get through. Layson Steele said, "That's why I'm on YouTube. Can't get enough service on TikTok." Wow. Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me. Something's going on with TikTok. Cindy Hayden 59 is here. Good morning, Cindy. JP Metal Slayer. Hey, JP. He said, "Alex, prayers to your mom, you, and your family." Thank you, Metal Slayer. James Nocerino 6 said, "Are they ever going to leave Mr. Trump alone?" Of course not. That's all they have. They have no solutions. Yeah. They just have Trump bad. That's all they have.
Trump's a threat.
Orange man bad.
Yeah, Trump's a threat to their livelihood. So of course they're going to beat him up.
Exactly. Let's see. Joe Lynn said, "Just got to hunt you down." Exactly. Well, I'm glad you found us, Joe Lynn. All right. Well, let's see here. Alex, what about some indices this morning?
Sure. Good morning, everybody, on this fine Thursday morning, 11/13/2025. Not so good today in the markets, folks. S&P 500 down 74 points to 6,775. Dow is down 414 to 47,840. NASDAQ is down 413 to 22,933. On the upside, though, gold still sitting at $4,212 per ounce, Mr. Glenn. In just a matter of a couple days, it went up $200. So I think there's still room to hit that 5,000 mark by the end of the year. Just putting that out there. Silver down 33 cents at $53.13. Crude oil is trading currently 48 cents up at $58.97 per barrel. Looking at the crypto market, pretty steady across the board. XRP is up 2%. James, don't get excited. It's only sitting at $2.40. Bitcoin even down 0.8% at 100,600. It's taken a pretty good bath over the last week or so. Ethereum down 2% to $3,306. Solana down 1% at 150. Cardano down 1% at 54 cents. Stellar Lumens down 0.5 at 28 cents. And HBAR Hedera down 1 at 17 cents. Looking at today's drops, there weren't a whole lot of them. There's a Washington Times article you can click on, and it says follow the family. The one that I thought interesting, because I've heard some whispers about things going on currently being brought back into the spotlight. Post number 4952. One word: Durham.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Alex. All right. Let's see here. Dave, do we have a report from you this morning?
Yes, sir.
All righty.
How's everybody's Thursday going here? Temperatures are rising here in the Midwest, so that's a good thing. The snow is melted. We're out doing field work, finishing up for the year. Unlike the Dow Jones and stuff that are down, the corn market and the bean markets are up. Corn is up 1 to 3 across the board. Soybeans 8 to 12. Wheat is down a penny. Cattle's up for a little over 0.4%. And hogs are down 2.65% across the board. On Friday, the report is coming out on corn and soybeans. The USDA blackout fuels uncertainty ahead of upcoming crop report. And I believe that's Friday, I think. What's today, the 13th or the
13th?
13th, okay. Yeah, I think it's out on Friday. Because they've been shut down for so long, analysts are estimating corn and soybean yields vary, and the yield and the report on acres are coming out on Friday. So it should be pretty wild going out on Friday on some numbers. I think it's going to be on the positive for the farmers. So see how that plays out.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
All right. James, let's see. Kathleen Garcia. Hey, Kathleen, glad you could make it. S&W Farm said it's Christmas crypto. Exactly. All right, James, you're up, sir.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today on a beautiful Thursday. Vader back to Minnesota. I'm just a little ways from home, but I'll be there shortly. Obviously, I had to pull over to do this because I know Sam demands it. You know, he said, you will stop that truck today.
Yeah, people believe that. Sure they do, James. Like
right,
I can tell you how to do anything.
He said, stop that truck or I'll do some more AI stuff with your face, James.
So today I want to talk about the 4 big operations that the United States is involved in. We have one Operation Inherent Resolve, the Caribbean deployment, the airstrikes in Iran, and border security is ongoing. According to the Caribbean deployment, it includes the USS Gerald Ford, and it's our aircraft carrier. They have launched their 10th airstrike on cartels. The United States is putting an end to drug smuggling and human trafficking for good. When we talk about airstrikes, they're not only with fighter jets, they're with missiles from destroyers. So we mean business over there, and I think the president of Venezuela is kind of running with his tail between his legs.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a whole lot more going on there, James, than meets the eye. I don't see.
Well,
go ahead,
Sam. You know, the interesting part about Venezuela is they may have a bunch of oil that we're interested in. Dave and I have talked about this and kind of dug into it a little bit. It's not number one sweet crude. It's a lesser grade of oil, but it's still a lot, and it still can be refined. It's kind of like a farmer having number 1 corn and number 2 corn. Number 2 is worth a little less, but it's still, by volume, it's worth money.
Yeah, I didn't know that there's 2 different versions of corn. What are we talking about there?
Well, there's good corn and there's bad corn. I mean, Dave can probably better explain the value and the quality. Dave, go ahead.
Well, it's on the planning side of it and for the quality at the end, grain quality too. So it kind of covers both sides and what you use it for, right? Multiple different levels of it. So,
well, one is used for like fuel or something, right?
We can use it anywhere. Like our corn right now is going to Nestle Purina. So it'll be dog, cat food, fish food, all kinds of stuff right now, but they're paying the premium, but you just got to work. You got to wait 4 hours to dump it. So that's the problem there. So otherwise it gets loaded on a barge and goes to many different countries. Mexico's our largest corn buyer.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
They gotta make tortillas.
That's right.
So Layson Steele over on YouTube said there's plenty of gold in the ground for everyone. Learn to prospect. Come and get yours. I don't know, Layson. You'd have to show us a how-to video, I think. Kathleen Paschke's here over on Facebook. She said cow corn. Is there such a thing as cow corn?
Well, it's used for anything.
Oh.
Feed, stuff like that. James is a good example of running around with a hopper across the country, picking up this, there, that, everywhere. It's kind of cool.
Wow.
To see what he picks up.
They're also, if you can get the corn dried down to the proper moisture content, it's also used in corn stoves to burn for heat.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know
I
that.
I prefer popcorn.
When I lived in Colorado, heating is a big deal, especially up in the mountains when we lived up in Grant County. And we had a, what do you call, wood burning stove to heat one of our first condo that we had gotten there before we moved into a home. And I remember buying, I think it was quarter cords of wood. And but over there, man, they just bring it to you and dump it. So you have to haul it into your, and we were up a flight of stairs. My God, especially at that altitude, 9,000 foot, it was a workout. And I'm not talking about splitting the wood. I'm talking about just carrying it up into the condo. Oh my God. I don't ever want to have to do that again. Ever.
Alex and Dave, we're going to have a good time with Sam when he comes to the Midwest.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Next thing you know, I have to be prepared for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's no food here. You gotta catch it and get it yourself while you're here.
Dude, if it's not wrapped in cellophane, I'm not interested, okay?
Here. Let's see. Let's test that theory. Just a second. This was last night's harvest.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Pheasant. There you go.
Wow, and you know how to prepare all that stuff, Alex? Get it cleaned up and all that stuff?
You just yank the feathers off, man. It's not hard.
Yeah, I literally have no idea. I remember when I lived up in the mountains in Colorado, my kids at the time had, of course, friends and their parents, and they would go hunting and what have you. And I was invited multiple times, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Not a chance. But what they would do is they would explain to me that there was, like, say you got a deer, that they would have to take, I don't know what it's called, but they would have to prepare the deer before they could even move it back to their car. And
right, you do a field dress, which
a field dress, yeah.
You take the insides out so the meat can start cooling quickly.
Okay, and then what happens to the innards? I mean, you just leave them out in the forest?
Coyote bait.
Oh,
A lot of people save the heart and the liver, Sam. Some people immediately cut the inside straps out. That's kind of like the delicacy. For people that have never done it before, we suggest that you poke that big round thing that you pull out of the inside and take a big whiff.
really?
No.
Stop
it.
Oh, okay. I have no idea. It's better than smelling salts. I do have a friend of mine, for 30 plus years, a friend of mine by the name of Grant. He goes on these fishing trips down in Cabo San Lucas. I mean, we're talking about the entrance fee is like $50,000 or some ridiculous amount of money. And he goes on these huge boats. And I know that when they do that in the fishing, that if they catch, I think, tuna, that they'll actually have sushi on the boats, fresh cut sushi. Now that I could get into, but I don't know about the whole deer and elk thing.
The rite of passage with deer harvesting, Sam, is you're gonna come over here from Cali. We're gonna get you set up. We'll get you a doe. But the rite of passage is you gotta take a big old bite of that heart.
Get out of here! Seriously?
Man, you want some
you're
iron?
BSing me, man. You're pulling my leg thinking I'm gonna bite. Not gonna happen.
You want some iron? You want some real iron in your blood? Like good for you iron? I'm telling you, boss.
Well, I don't know, man. All right, everybody in the chat. Is Alex pulling my leg or is that a real deal?
JP Party. Check that out.
JP. I don't know what the heck. Wow. Cali Lumberjack said, wait a minute. I just lost it. Said
nurse.
He said seriously.
Oh, it said heart is delicious.
What's up, Cali?
Wow.
Yeah.
He said it's good, Sam. Wow. Interesting. Well, I mean, if this is a real thing and it truly is not going to kill me or something, of course I'll try it. Yeah, of course. As long as I have proper guidance and instruction.
Well, once you take the bite, you gotta put the red streaks under your eyeballs, buddy.
Okay, now I know you're pulling my leg. You guys are so full of it. Jeez. Lisa Maria said, I'll pass forever. Exactly. Martin's WB said, Sam, ever seen the movie Red Dawn? No, I haven't. I don't know what that is. What is Red Dawn? Have you guys seen it? Oh, nice hat.
I've not seen that.
Yeah,
I
I'm not sure
imagine it's a warrior deal. I think that was on the Patriot too. I think.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Jolyn said you need a beer to wash it down. Well, I don't drink, Jolyn. I've been sober for a very long time, but I think if it's a real deal, I'll definitely try it. Hey, Hits is here. Good morning. Good morning, Hitesh. Glad you can make it. Teresa Ann said it's an 80s movie. Huh.
We'll introduce you to mountain oysters too, Sam.
Now, I've heard that term, and I believe that's bull testicles or something, right? Or no?
It can be bull, it can be swine, it could be a lot of different animals. But
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's going to have to be a hard pass on my part, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe
We just won't tell him.
Maybe if it's deep fried or something, I won't know exactly.
There you go.
Lee said it's a World War III group of high school fighters against insurgents. Oh, interesting. I don't know anything about it. Jan Lovin being grandma said Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah, all the time I lived in Colorado, I don't think I ever was exposed to those. Although there was, so in Colorado, up in Winter Park where we lived, there was a fondue restaurant. And what you would do is you'd go in and they would bring you, you could choose from bear, elk, deer, whatever you wanted. And they would bring it to you raw, and then you would actually cook it in the fondue sauce at your table. And so I've had just about I shouldn't say every, but I've had a lot of different types of meat. I didn't care for elk. It was really gamey. I didn't really care for deer either. It was gamey. Bear was okay, but you could definitely tell it wasn't regular cow. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain oysters, but they never had those, so I didn't have the option to try those. But who knows? Layson Steele said, no way. Exactly. Richard Pacente said bluefin and yellowtail. Yeah, I think that's what they do out on the ship, out on the boat. Maybe I'll have to get Grant on here one of these days and ask him to give us some firsthand experience because he's done it many, many times. All right, well, let's move in here. Let's get into some. Valerie James said, with wild game, you have to know how to cook it. Well, I'm sure Alex, the way he prepares everything, I would not be surprised if it's delicious.
I apologize, everybody. I've got to go.
Oh,
I'll be back.
Okay, brother. Sure. Oh, all right. Well, again, prayers to Alex and his family over there. They're going through it today. All right, so let's see. Wildlife fan said, I'm celebrating my born day sitting in my tree stand at 57. Oh, happy birthday, wildlife fan. Happy birthday. I hope you get whatever it is that you're hunting out there.
Deer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Richard Pacente said, nothing like fresh nuts. No, thanks. I'll pass. Oh, my gosh. All right, so let's move in here. So according to ABC News, John F. Kennedy's grandson, Jack Schlossberg, has announced that he's going to be running for, he's going to be running for Congress, but he's taking, he's taking Nadler's seat. Now, yes. I'm not sure, what state is Nadler in?
New York.
He's New York. Okay. Well, that's interesting development. JFK's grandson. Dave, what do you make of it?
It's interesting. He was born in 93. He is the son of Carolyn Kennedy. And I think he's the only living grandchild of JFK. And he holds a MBA from Harvard Law School and everything else. So it'd be interesting. I assume, and he's a Democrat. So
I know nothing about him. James, do you know anything about this guy?
Actually, I don't. I know more about Nadler than I do about the incumbent. Interestingly enough, Jerry Nadler has announced he will not be seeking re-election for 2026. Nadler was born in 1947. He's 78 years old. He's a lawyer and politician from New York. He's represented the 10th district and the 12th district. He's 5'3" and he's a lump of shit. He's announced he will not be seeking re-election after 30 years in New York.
I'm so glad you're back, James. Because you say the things that I'm not allowed to say, or I don't say, because you say them right out.
Well, I do have a picture to share with you of the Jerry Nadler collection. And if you know much about Jerry Nadler, I got to put a piece of tape over me.
You jinxed yourself. If you know something about that, there you go.
God, that's
If
just
if you his pants go clear up past his chest, so
Jesus.
people. I mean, you can see him. He wears them like I wear chest waders. Those are
God.
his regular pants. And I actually sent a video to Dave and Alex this morning of him shitting himself on television, right in front
Wow.
of Nancy Pelosi. Oh, it's classic. You'd have to
Wow.
go see it.
Wow. Yeah, you got to send it to me. I haven't seen that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll laugh. You'll laugh all day.
Oh
He
my
moves more
gosh.
side. He moves more side to side than he does forward. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Martini Time's here. Wendy J, thank you for the gifts. It's really sweet of you. Christy C, good morning, Christy. Callie Lumberjack, thank you for the gifts. It's appreciated. Hokey Gigi's here. And Christy Medina, thank you for the gold medal. Very, very, very sweet. All right, let's see here. We have this one's, I'm going to be coming to you first on this one, James. According to Zero Hedge, Coinbase left Delaware for what they're calling greener pastures, and they're moving to Texas. Left-wing activists, lawmakers, and judges are nuking what was once one of the nation's most respected and business-friendly environments. Now, if memory serves me correctly, Delaware was the first state that was the anonymity state, and that's why. What I mean by that is that corporations didn't have to disclose who owned the corporation. Now, several other states have done that since then, Nevada and what have you. But in the last 4 or 5 decades, Delaware was the only anonymity state. James, what do you make of all this happening?
Well, the anonymity part was great. If anybody ever won the Powerball or Mega Millions, all you'd have to do is incorporate in Delaware, and you would never be found out. The name of the corporation could be, but nobody could ever find out what it or who it was.
Right.
The part that's interesting is Elon Musk and Tesla moved to Texas. Texas has become the new darling of corporations in America. Their favorable business environment, friendlier tax rules, lighter regulatory environment, and new legislation aimed at establishing business courts. Delaware is now called Dexit.
Interesting. Kissing Bandit and Lipstick just sent us all a bunch of lipstick. Thank you, Bandit. Glad you're here. Christine Thomas was calling Nadler the Penguin. Yeah, boy, then that's kind of I would have used different words, but Dave, what do you make of this thing with Coinbase?
Well, I think just in the tax structure, it's a huge thing for the company, and you're going to see multiple deals. I know Cat left Illinois to go to Texas, I believe, too. Caterpillar, and it's just, and that's the same thing that's going to happen in New York. People, you start charging people more money, millionaires more money, they're just going to exit stage left.
Yeah, and they're leaving California in droves as well.
Yeah, look at Elon did, right?
Yep, 100%. Yep.
What he said, that new Tesla thing, he said what he did in a year, he couldn't do in 5 in California.
Right, exactly. But now that the Chevron deference has been passed with the Supreme Court and it's solidified, ooh, that was cool. What was that? Mary Louise Brown, thank you for the star warm-up. That was cool. But now that the Chevron deference has been passed, all of these unconstitutional and unelected bureaucracies are going away. So that in and of itself is going to help across the board in every state once we get some of these flipping governors out. All right, let's move on. So it's official. The U.S. Mint has stopped minting pennies. It was costing 30. Now, some reports said 37 cents. Others said 3.7 cents per penny to mint it. But apparently, they lost over $85 billion on minting pennies. And that was just in 2024. How in that world did that get to that point? James, what do you think?
Well, it depends on what you read. I went to different places. I used AI, and it said it cost the taxpayer $56 million annually. According to President Trump said it cost 4 times to make it what it's worth. It's still legal tender, even though they're going to stop making it. It's still legal tender. The first penny was struck in 1787, and it had a sundial on it, and the design was dreamt up by Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know that. Dave, what do you got on this?
Yep. To add a little history to it, the latest pennies are primarily zinc with their copper coating. the current design featured President Abraham Lincoln. Was started in 1909, and then the Union Shield was added in 2010. So good riddance. I think it's 3.7 cents to 5 is what they're saying to make manufacture. And when they're cracking that open, like, hey, I owe you 2 more cents. Like, we already wasted time. Keep it. I don't need to even mess with it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So as all know that my sister passed, and so we're going through her belongings and checking things, and I found this roll of pennies that she had stashed. I don't know what for. So I opened it up, and it turns out they are pennies from the 40s and 50s. Now, I haven't taken the time to really research whether they're worth or anything or not, but I just thought it was very interesting that Kath passed, and I found this roll of pennies that she had been holding, and then all of a sudden, here it is, pennies are going away. So I'll let everybody know what I find with them.
Well, I think Trump's going to try to make pennies great again and make it worth printing, make them again someday. You make the dollar worth $1.
Yeah, well,
then we can bring the penny back.
Sam, there is an app that you can unload on your phone and hold your camera over the phone, and it'll tell you how much it's worth. So
I've seen those, but I don't know anything much about them.
Mm-hmm. There's a guy that has the coin. They call him the Coin Man or something like that. He talks about the value of different coins and what to look for. You have a perfect candidate. If anything's in a roll and it's been there for a while and you want to go through them, download the app, just Coin Counter or something like that. I'll dig into it today and send you a link for it.
Oh, cool. Thanks, James. Right on. Benji 1959 said pure copper worth 5 cents each minimum. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that, Ben. Great. Thank you. So with 50 pennies, what am I looking at? 50 cents? Wow. I can retire. I'm joking. Retire. But yeah, thanks for that info, Ben. Kathleen Paschke said, I just heard the truckers are gone, refuse to associate with New York City. James, you know anything about that?
Absolutely. A lot of alliances being established with their crazy taxes, their road tax. So all trucks get taxed based on the mileages that you roll through a state. The way it's offset is buying fuel to take care or offset that road tax by buying their fuel.
How do they track that? Do they look at your mileage or something?
Actually, I have a electronic logging device, so it takes care of it. Tells me how many miles I traveled in each state, and then I have fuel receipts that show how many gallons of fuel that I bought in each state, and each state has their own tax bracket. Florida, Illinois, Indiana being one of the higher ones. New York probably going to be on top, but they said that they're going to add 50% taxes to the roads up there, and it's just not worth going. They're basically with this new Wowie or whatever the new dude's name is. He's going to tax truckers, and we won't go there. They're going to have to come get their goods.
Huh? Interesting.
Remember, there's over 4,000 retirees leaving the police. And it's just going to be across the board. People aren't going to stand for that. And you reported yesterday, Walmart was closing down any of their 23, I believe, stores up there, right?
Right. The markets. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it costs the truck driver extra money to go to a state, it's not worth going. So, and you think it's a shit show now, you just wait. It's coming. It's going to get much better.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Well, wait a minute. What? We got to do sponsors. All right. So MyPillow.com, Mike Lindell has sponsored the show from the beginning. If you need some pillows or some blankets or some sheets or whatever else Mike seems to offer, give him the business. He's earned it. Go to MyPillow.com, use the discount code SAM, and you'll get a major discount on whatever you buy. Secondly, we have Neil Naturopathic, the only chemical-free, toxin-free hair care products that I'm aware of in the world. Dr. Neil's a personal friend of mine, and if you use the code SAM20, SAM20, you'll get 20% off of your entire order. Go to neilnaturopathic.com. And then, of course, Dr. Peter Glidden. Dr. Glidden, I think he's going to be joining us tomorrow, but he's out of the country. But it looks like he's going to be able to join us depending upon his connection. But hopefully he'll be here. But he has set up a special Zoom get together for us just for our community. So if you go to my website, samshalhoub.com, in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Dr. Glidden's name. Click on that link. That'll take you to his website. And you'll see a big banner right on the front page of his website with my picture on it. If you register now, November 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific time is when we are doing this special, our community only with Dr. Glidden. Get registered now so that when you register, it'll send you the password for the event on the 29th. Wow, what is that thing? That's cool. But yeah, everybody needs to go over to Dr. Glidden's website, go through my website, register for the event, and it's November 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And I hope all of you can join us. It's going to be well worth your time. PJ Party said she's already registered. Great. And Joy registered as well. Excellent. All right. Well, and then of course, Alex is in here, but as you all know, Alex has his meditation book. I personally own it. I've read it several times. It is instrumental in helping you learn how to meditate properly. So if you go to Amazon and type in Alex Ramer, Alex Ramer, his book will come up. Go and buy it. Do yourself a favor. And then Alex is also generously giving each person who buys the book a 1-hour private consultation with him. So do yourself a favor and get that book. All right. Well, let's move on here, guys. So the Trump administration is now looking into normalizing portable mortgages, allowing Americans to keep their interest rate, term, and lender when moving to a different home. Now, if you combine that with the possible 50-year mortgage, what do you think that's all about, James?
Well, ultimately, what this is all about is it's addressing the lack of supply of housing. I think it's when they get all the illegals bust out of here and we kind of come back to a normal, if there is such a thing as normalcy. I think that once they start kicking out like Sandra Huckabee over in Arkansas, where she said nobody from other countries are going to operate a business or own homes or land in Arkansas, I think she set the precedent, and I think Missouri is probably going to be right behind them. Delaware is changing more than just housing laws. They're putting a Second Amendment freeze. They're going to have new handgun regs, corporate law, property taxes, insurance coverages for abortions. SB 21 alters rules related to stockholder lawsuits and power of directors and major shareholders. So they're basically doing an overhaul of the entire state and that whole district of where you could have anonymity. Basically, they're trying to do away with that so nobody can hide anymore.
Yep.
And it's not the bad people that are hiding. It's the people that are wealthy that want to maintain the wealth. That's what they're trying to mask. They don't want everybody to know they're wealthy.
Yep. Dave? Oh,
you're muted, Dave.
I go, some of the critics that are talking about this, it says the small monthly payments do not outweigh the cost of the long term, but that will get people in housing. I said it might take much longer to build equity in their homes, obviously, but the concerns are getting people in. We'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. Obviously, throwing something on the table and looking into it is well worth it, and that's what I love about this administration.
Well, and that whole system has to be revamped because whether it's a 30-year mortgage or a 50-year mortgage, you buy a house for $250,000, you're paying $500,000 or more for that house over the long run. That's unacceptable, in my opinion. Now, how they're going to deal with that, is that going to be part of this monetary switch that's coming? I don't know. But I'm not a fan of the 50-year mortgage in some respects. And others, I think, well, maybe it'll get people in. But we have got to, as the central banking system goes away, I have to think that those types of ridiculous usury charges will be going away as well. But again,
well, Sam, it could be, President Trump calls for 1% from the Fed for next month at that next meeting. Do people refinance? I'm in that boat right now that I would like to refi. But if I refi, I can't refi for 6 more months after that. So if I refi now at 3 or 4%, even buying points, and it drops to a penny, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot for 6 consecutive months, and potentially lose a shit ton of money between now and then.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hold off and wait.
Yeah, I think that's a wise choice. John Langlow's here. Hey, John. Christine Thomas. Good morning, Christine. Mary Lee Brown. Thank you for the gifts. That's very kind. Sassy Minnesota girls just showed up. Hey, Sassy. Glad you're here. Virgo 47 said one can hope. Well, we are in the middle of historic changes. Now, how that's going to play out, when it's going to play out, your guess is as good as mine. But I have enough faith in President Trump and the administration and the people he's put in charge that we're moving in the right direction. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's certainly going to happen, in my opinion. But again, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Billy Bob Jones said over on Facebook, Sam, you're not on TikTok today. I am, Billy Bob. There's something going on with TikTok. People are not able to find our live. The numbers are all askew. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know if it's just me and I pissed somebody off at TikTok and they're shadow banning, or James did, exactly. But we are all live on TikTok right now. So some people have said they've had to search for me, that it's not coming up in their feed. But again, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on there, but at least you're here on Facebook, Billy Bob Jones. And I don't know what your TikTok name is, so if you want to put that in the chat, I'll make an announcement about it. Layson Steele said is the link to the Zoom page. Lace, what he's doing is you're registering on Dr. Glidden's site, and then he's going to send you an email confirming your registration, and then we'll go from there. But that's essentially how it works. All right, well, let's see. I Speak 1717 said, it's the solar flares. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, even the daily, not the daily, but the daily goal that we have. I know people have sent the gold boxing gloves, but the numbers are zero. So I don't know what the heck is going on. It's the same thing with our subscribers. The subscribers on TikTok, for whatever reason, you have to go in and clear your cache. You have to do all these different things. Even if you're already a subscriber, it's not registering you as one. So if next time Alex is here, I'll have him walk through that process again. But you have to go in, and if you're already subscribed, you become a super fan. It doesn't cost anymore. It's just what you have to do apparently at this point. But the whole thing's topsy-turvy. I don't know what the hell's going on with it at this point. All right. Well, let's see. Let's move on. Anthropic announced a $50 billion investment into U.S. AI infrastructure, building data centers with FluidStack in Texas and New York, and more sites to come. Dave, what do you make of it?
Yeah, it sounds like the facilities are expected to come online throughout 2026, and the project is going to bring 800 permanent jobs and 2,400 construction jobs. So that's a positive. Add that to the pile of stuff that Trump's brought into this country. This company also has AstraZeneca for medicines manufacturing and R&D for Roche for its U.S. presence. So they have two other companies in this deal. So bring them on in. We got we got people to fill those positions.
Yep. James?
Well, it's basically aimed to compete with OpenAI's 1.4 trillion build out. It's Anthropic is now a major infrastructure player.
Exactly. Sassy Minnesota girl said, go to settings, then apps, TikTok, clear cache. Okay, thanks, Sassy. Let's see. David Morales said, app settings, find cache memory, delete, and then back in the app and find Sam. Should help. Great. Thanks, David. Yeah, there's something going on with TikTok because the numbers are just askew on every metric that I can find at this point. I don't know why, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So FBI Director Kash Patel announced that the pipeline to create fentanyl has been shut down in Mexico and worldwide, saving tens of thousands of Americans. Now, there has got to be more to the story. I mean, that's great news, yes. But with what's going on in Venezuela, let's not forget that President Trump said he was thinking about bombing parts of Mexico. There has got to be more to this story. Dave, what do you think?
Well, it's interesting. I would assume before all this, majority of the problem was coming up through Mexico. Now that that's shut down, I believe that's why the boats are coming over from Venezuela. They're cutting out the middleman, which was Mexico, but they can't push that through any longer. It's amazing how the southern border just fell off. We're done. It's quiet. No other news coming from there. We got the military down there. What, 1,000, right? I think 1,000 troops down there on the border at least. And it's interesting to see how this is going to go because there's more to the story than what we're hearing for sure.
100%. And as we notice, you guys, for the last 8 years, news narratives come in, they're hot for a couple weeks, then they're gone. And then they'll come back in a few months later, and then they're gone. And they come back in, and then they're gone. There's much more going on behind the scenes, in my opinion, than we are aware of. James, what do you make of it?
You know, the U.S. military is a key factor here. Venezuela, Mexico. We've got a battleship right off the coast of Mexico. We have drones. They're going in with just about every asset that's required to infiltrate and what's the right term? Erase. They just detonate. They take them out. It's basically dust in the wind when we leave. It's done and over with. And that's what these entities like Tren de Aragua, they're going away slowly but surely, and they have no choice but to leave. It's either leave or be demolished.
Right.
And
right.
For the betterment of humanity, President Trump calls that they're terrorists. Anybody that does drug running or human trafficking, they're terrorists, and we take them out. And there's no stipulation, there's no court, there's no nothing. It's just done.
Right.
And I think they're starting to get the message.
And I think in the Constitution, in the Constitution, Article 2, I think it's Section 1, maybe Section 3, specifically outlines that if it is an issue, if whatever in the United States is an issue that is jeopardizing or threatening national security, the president, the commander in chief, can do virtually anything he needs to take care of that. Now, I think all of the kayfabe that we're seeing with the judges and with the Supreme Court, it boils down to the Constitution. And if my guess is correct, President Trump is exercising and has been exercising those options for the last 9 years. Yeah, I said it, 9 years, 40.5-47. The dash matters. Dave, what do you make of it?
No, I agree wholeheartedly with it. It's interesting. Everything that the Constitution says, Trump is doing right, especially with the tariffs and all that stuff. Obviously, if they can apply tariffs to us, we should be able to apply tariffs to them. That was like the old fight of Canada. Oh, you guys are going to fail. Like, you've been putting 125% on our dairy products going into your country. Has your country failed? No. Well, we're going to do the same back to you. And obviously, I think it's over 200 billion now we have in the coffers that are going to be pushed out on different things, and start paying down the debt is pretty important.
And I think that there's probably other strategies on that debt as well. James, what do you make of it?
You're probably right, Sam. You're probably exactly right. The one thing that I think about when I think about doing something nefarious and being chased after by the United States military,
that's a hard pass for me.
just think about the 8 or 9 guys in the boat, and they think they're getting away under the cover of darkness, and we can see them plain as day, and we just boom, and they're gone. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't seem to scare some people unless they just really have nothing else to live for.
Unless they're a sociopath and they just don't have that fear. Who knows?
Well, maybe they got some good drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. John Langlow said phony debt. Yeah, 100% I agree, John. Glenn said we just need to buy Mexico, which, that's a good statement. Here, this is my theory on it. We used to have NAFTA, which was Mexico, the United States, and Canada. And then President Trump came in, got rid of NAFTA, and created the USMCA, right? My theory is that within that USMCA agreement, that the borders between Canada and Mexico and the United States are going to virtually disappear. Now, we had Cindy Brewer on the show months ago, and he confirmed that many things in Canada are already part of the United States. Now, are we going to see that optically roll out? Well, I don't know. James, what do you think?
I believe monetarily that Sydney was probably exactly right. He's giving advice about crypto holdings. The guy he's staunch in as an opinion. And you go try to vet some of the things that he said, and he's exactly right. So for us to have open borders and talking about Canada being the 51st state, which province? Is it going to be Alberta? I mean, I think they've already done it. Like you often say, we hear about it well after the fact, and that's how the military operates. I think our government with Canada and Mexico operate the same way. As far as the wall goes down south, you're going to have to go through the gate. You can't crawl over it.
Yeah. Now, it's my understanding that I can't remember which province is the one closest to the United States. Do you guys know off the top of your head?
No, they all.
Was that Alberta? The one that has
Alberta.
the most. So,
Well, Ontario is the most southern,
yeah, okay. So
and then
Ontario.
it goes Manitoba, and yeah.
Well, isn't Ontario isn't 80% or something like that, some very high number, the majority of the population of all of Canada?
Yep.
So
On the southern part of, yeah.
yeah. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's Ontario becoming the 51st state. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there, but what do you guys think?
They're talking about Alberta because of the oil, and I think that vote is coming up in 2026. I'm not sure on the date of that, but I know the year is 2026. They're going to be voting on it, and they have to have. Remember, right? It's 60% of the population has to agree to it to pull ways, and I think British Columbia was also the other one that was going to go with it.
Mhm.
And that's the big money for Canada,
Right.
because that's where the oil comes from, and that's a lot of stuff. So it is going to be interesting. It's one of those put it on the back of the stove and see if it boils.
Yeah, exactly. James, any comment?
Well, that's interesting. Alberta pumps oil into the United States to feed its west side, or excuse me, its east side. And that was one of the leverage factors for President Trump. He said, "Oh, you want to put those kind of tariffs on? Well, we'll just have one of our oil companies go up and shut your oil off, so you don't pump it in the United States to pump it over to the east. We'll just shut that whole east side of your country off." How do you feel about that? That
Right.
changed Carney's tune right now.
How do you like them apples, right?
That's
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. All right. So, last story of the day. As we all know, the House passed a vote to reopen the government, and President Trump signed that bill last night. Now, I'm a little disappointed. I was kind of hoping that it would stay shut down long enough to get rid of all of the waste and fraud. Now, maybe they've already done it, and that's why they've allowed it to open. I don't know. But, Dave, what do you make of that whole deal?
I think Trump cut it quite a bit off in the meantime, but I know the 60-day mark was a key point. I'm very surprised we didn't make it through December 1st on that. Obviously, it's a positive for a lot of the SNAP and the people that actually do need that stuff, and to get back to work.
Yeah, but you know what, though, Dave? The thing is, the things that mattered, the things that were necessary, got taken care of anyway, right?
Yeah,
The
you're right,
military,
you're right.
the SNAP,
The funny thing is they offered this proposal in October, and the Democrats still didn't get what they wanted, at the 1.5 trillion for Obamacare and to go do illegal aliens and all that stuff. So it's obviously a positive. We'll see. It wouldn't have happened if they didn't have the work done already, I believe, for this administration. So.
Right, James?
Well, I think Dave and I had visited about this very topic this morning. There's a lot of good that came of it too. The reassurance to the United States people, the population, that our military is going to be paid. Our air traffic control system is going to go back to normal. So we do have joyous holidays and people can travel. With the restrictions of TSA and the government saying, "Hey, we're going to have to start restricting flights and not put as many flights in the air because we just don't have the personnel." So there's a lot of good that comes of this too. I think the pork that got trimmed wasn't just a trimming. They brought out chainsaws for that.
Yeah.
The people that are getting SNAP benefits that aren't supposed to, I think they got a pretty good lariat around that. I think they pulled the noose tighter on that. I think as a whole, there was a lot good. But Dave hit the nail on the head when he said, we offered this same package back in October. So when you go this long, and they were stalling because they wanted the nefarious people to continue to get the money. And if the people that weren't even alive getting SNAP benefits, we cut that off.
Yep.
And we said, look, you're done, and we're not going to go any further. And when they started to threaten taking away their money, their paychecks, that's when things started to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm go ahead.
And Virgo 47 said they'll close it again in January. Yeah, because that's the other side of this. It's a $680 billion bill yesterday, but it's only good through January. So are we going to be right back in this spot again in January?
Potentially, yes.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. It's like the Democrats are acting like 8-year-olds stomping at the candy store. I mean, plain and simple. And what they're doing, it's just corrupt. It isn't the people that need it. It isn't. It's obviously a lot of stuff important gets held up. But if we don't stop the bleeding, we're gonna be done. So it has to happen.
Right. Laura McCrary said, well, now I can get paid again. Well, and I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Laura. And I'm grateful that you're able to get paid again. But I think we have to, from a much more, what would I call it, global perspective, we have got to get this government under control. Now, Crystal Zeski said something about what she was hoping we would reopen as a constitutional republic. Well, I think that we are. I think that is a slow roll moving out towards over a period of time. But I think that's exactly what we're going back to, a constitutional republic where there's no more admiralty or maritime law, but it's common law. But again, that is a process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, in my opinion. David Morales over on YouTube said, Canada is a commonwealth, could be a battle with the Palace and the Windsors, ? Well, I think that they have been neutered, and I think they've been neutered quite some time ago. I don't think, yeah, exactly. I don't think that's going to be an issue, David. But again, I don't know the script. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I'm confident we're moving in the right way, in the right direction.
Count me out on those Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah, exactly. Hard pass on that one for me. All right. Oh, wow.
We did do it. Addressing transparency, Sam, and making that the key factor of all of it. We want to know where the money's going. There's going to be no more bullshit, people stealing money. I think they pass that message on, and I think it's been heard loud and clear.
100%, I agree, James. 100%. All right, Dave, are you able to do YMCA music today?
Absolutely. I can get that brought up in a second.
Oh, wonderful. All right, everybody, we are at 104,000 likes. You guys are awesome. Oh, before we do that, some honorable mentions. Mary Lees Brown, Benji 1959, Martini Time, Crystal Zeski, Wendy J, Jan Lovin Being Grandma, Christine Thomas, Wendy, Chris Romano, Teresa Ann, David, SF Trash Panda 79, Joy, Mark Matson, Wildlife Land, John Langlow, Joe Lynn, Glenn, Doe, PJ Party, and the list goes on. Thank you all for the gifts. It is truly appreciated. All right, Dave, cue it up. All right, everybody, it's time to stand up. Get your dancing shoes on. Stretch those legs. I want to see it in the chat on TikTok and on YouTube and on Facebook and on X and on Rumble. Come on, everybody. Let's see it. All right. Who do we have dancing this morning? Oh, my gosh. Everybody's dancing. Barb 7599, Cindy Lou, Kevin Kiesler, Virgo 47, Diana Lynn, praying for Alex and his family. Thank you, Diana Lynn. Thank you. Cindy Lou, Rick Sr., Wildlife Fan, Joy. All right, who else we got dancing here? Mary Lees Brown, Jan Lovin Being Grandma, Joy, Deb S., Cindy Lou, Kevin Kiesler, Wendy, Lisa Maria. All right. Good job, everybody. No way for me to keep up on the chat. Dana Mackey's dancing. Patricia, Troy Armstrong, sassy Minnesota girl. Oh, my goodness. Everybody dancing. Layson Steele over on YouTube. Kathleen Paschke on Facebook. You guys are awesome. Just awesome.
And the real Alex is here. I don't know if he wants to get in or like to say end of the deal or not.
He'll send a request, I'm sure, if he's able to.
All right. That sounds
all
good.
right. Well, let's move to final thoughts. James?
You know, it's a pleasure to have a little bit of Indian summer here for me in Minnesota. I did see remnants of snow coming into the state this morning to deliver my salt. It's pretty exciting. We go up and down with emotions based on what we hear on the news, and basically even on the channel here, people's emotions are up and down. And it's kind of like a roller coaster, given the news that we've been told. But I think the government coming back together and setting us in the right direction, I think it's a much needed thing to see people saying, I finally get my paycheck again. That touches my heart. I know we all needed it. We all needed some resolve here, and we got it. So let's pray that it all goes good and goes forward, and one step at a time, one day at a time. And like Sam says, the best is yet to come. Thanks for the gifts. Appreciate y'all being here.
Exactly. Dave?
I appreciate everybody being here. A beautiful day starting off here in eastern Iowa. Trump's scheduled today. He receives intelligence briefing today at 11:15, and at 2 o'clock, the president and the first lady participate in an executive order signing at 2 in the East Room. So we'll see what that all consists of. I'm sure he'll bring some exciting news. Appreciate the gifts, and we'll see what tonight and tomorrow bring.
Exactly. Well stated, gentlemen. Well stated. So everybody, as you know, this wouldn't be a show without you. And we're so grateful that you choose to spend some of your time every day with us. It does not go unnoticed. And as we realized that Alex had to step away, I would encourage everyone to pray for Alex, his mom, and their family. They're going through it, and Alex is a good man. He's there for his mother, and I'm so grateful that he's part of our group and part of our family here on TikTok and on every other platform. So as we move through and we have these bumps in the road and we have challenges, just keep in mind that the best is yet to come. All right, everybody. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll talk then.